Okay, can. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to our live. Okay, let's just wait for more people to join before we start. Today we are doing 50 grammar and vocabulary questions. Okay, so if you are curious where you can purchase this, right, you can actually head to our TikTok, right, head to our main page, and you can actually see the link in our bio. Okay, so you can see the link in our bio over here. Just click on it and it will direct you to this page over here. And when you are here, you can either head to our ebook store to access it. Okay, you can click on this ebook store, which will direct you to our ebook website. Or else you can also head to our shop where you can access all of these books. So today we are doing the 1200 PSLE grammar and vocabulary questions. Okay, so yes, welcome everyone. Let's just wait for more people to join first. Okay, so if you're unsure of how to get or purchase the books, feel free to comment down below and let me know if you have any questions regarding the ebooks. And now we also have a special bundle deal. So if you click on this ebook, you can actually purchase it along with our phrasal verbs ebook. Okay, so you can go to our main web store over here and you can see the deals right at the top. Okay, so let's just wait for more people. Okay. Okay, hi Sad Hamster, hi Cosmic Power, Risala Fries. Okay, hello everyone, welcome to our live session. So today we are doing 50 grammar and vocabulary questions, right? But we will be looking at where to purchase the books and how to hit to our ebook store via our TikTok page. Okay, so feel free to let me know if you have any questions with regards to these ebooks. Hey, hi everyone, welcome. Welcome to our live session. Yes, and as you know, now we also have this SG60 registration promotion, right? It's ongoing for our Singapore's 60th birthday. So you can get a $60 NTC voucher if you sign up for our primary or secondary English classes, as well as a waiver of $80 registration fee. You can refer your friends or family members to save and enjoy $60 of your own tuition fees when your referral joins Writers at Work. Okay, so hello. Hello. Hello, hello. Hi, admin Jason. Yes. Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to our live session. So today we are actually doing this ebook, right? 1200 PSLE grammar and vocabulary questions. Okay, as you can see, it is the interior is like this. It is a targeted practice for your grammar and vocabulary MCQ section. Okay, so if you are interested to purchase, can feel free to let me know on the steps or where to purchase, or you can simply WhatsApp us at the number, right? Okay, hello everyone. Okay, so maybe we can start with the first question while we are waiting for the rest of you to join. Right, so unafraid blank snakes, Jenny stretched out her hand to touch the yellow bellied python. Okay, so we are looking at preposition in this case, right? Unafraid, in, of, to, of. Right, so which of these will be the correct options? Okay, so unafraid blank snakes, right? If you are looking at this question, what do you think the correct answer will be? Right, we usually say we refer it to as unafraid of snakes. Okay, so the answer for this question will be very straightforward. So it will be option number 2. Okay, unafraid of snakes. Question 2. Right, question 2. Sam told his mother, "Don't worry, Mom. The holiday homework that blank assigned by the teacher will be completed before I go for the P5 camp." Okay, assign. This is in past tense. Okay, homework. Is it countable or uncountable? Hello, welcome to our live session. Okay, we are doing 50 grammar and vocabulary practice today. So yes, so the holiday homework. Okay, homework is technically uncountable. Okay, you can count the amount of worksheets. Okay, what is countable? Okay, sorry, typo. Countable is the number of worksheets. Okay, worksheets and pages that you have. This will be the countable form. So for homework wise, we cannot count how many homework you have. Okay, so you will see that the answer is option 2. Okay, that was assigned. In the homework that was assigned. Okay, moving on to question number 3. Blank leaving the house early. Kenny arrived late for the concert. Okay, so he left the house early in expectation to reach early, right? Hope to reach early. However, Kenny arrived late. This means that there is a contrast. Okay, there is a contrast in the answer over here. So what do you think the correct answer will be for question number 3? Okay, what do you think the correct answer will be? Okay, Abdullah says that it is 4. Is it number 4? However, leaving the house early. Okay, we are looking at a word or conjunction, right, that gives us the meaning that brings us to the contrast that we are showing over here, right? Arriving late. Okay, so however will be used in another context instead of showing a contrast. So what does however mean? Right, when do we use however? Okay, so however can also be used to show contrast, but however will not be suitable in this case of sentence structure, right? So we cannot say however it started to rain. So however, Kenny arrived late for the concert. That is correct, but in this case, because it is the first word we are looking at, so the question will actually be despite leaving the house early. Okay, even though I left the house early, right, I still arrived late, right? So that is despite. Hi Janelle. Janelle says, it's been a while since I joined the live. I see. Okay. Janelle, are you with admin Jean? Okay. Question number 4. The cashier will ask you to complete a form, blank you change your mind, and ask for a refund for your purchase. Question 4 would be 3. Okay, Abdullah, why would your answer be 3? Right, we are looking at a word that can replace the word if. Right, so which of these words over here is a more formal way of replacing the word if? Okay, a more formal way to say if. Okay, so the actual correct answer is actually option number 4. Option 4, which is should. So should you change your mind, right? Should you need any help? Okay, would is actually implying the possibility. Will you be there, right? Asking a question. However, should is more of being very certain that, oh, if you would like to change your mind, right? So should is the more appropriate answer to represent the word if. Okay. Moving on to question number 5. Dion always hand in her work on time, blank she. Okay, this is a question tag, right? We can identify this very easily, right? Question tag. So always hand in her work on time, right? Always hand in her work on time. This will mean that she always does hand in. Okay, if it's always does hand in, what would the answer be? Okay, if it's always does hand in, right, what would the answer be? Okay, Abdullah says it's 4. Doesn't she? Yes, right, very good. Because over here we have the positive, therefore we are looking at the negative at the blank over here. Okay, so always does, which leads us to doesn't. it cannot be in the positive form, right? It will only be in negative, which is doesn't. Okay, negative form means it ends with the N apostrophe T. Okay, moving on to question number 6. Can you tell me how you went to Universal Studios and with blank please? Mother question. Okay, and with blank, right? So, with someone, right, we usually use one word to replace him or her. Okay? Hi, Charlene. Welcome. It's been a long time since I've seen you. Hey, welcome to our live session. Today, we are still doing 50 grammar and vocabulary questions. Okay, hi, Perry. Thank you for your follow. Feel free to drop any questions if you like to, or answer the questions together and do our practice. Okay, so, and with blank, please. Right? So, is it which of these words can replace him or her? Right? And with something. With whom? Yes, Pavlov. Is it pronounced as Pavlov? Right, I think it is, right? So, yes, that is correct. And with whom, please? Okay, so whom actually replaces the word him or her in this context. So when you are in doubt, right, you can actually try to use this technique to remember when to use whom if it is not in the noun whom noun combination. Okay, when it comes to blank, no one is better than Jamie. Okay, so when it comes to something, right, we are looking at a gerund over here. Right, we are looking at a gerund, which is the base form of a word, okay, plus ing. That is a gerund, right? So yes, when it comes to baking, so over here, baking takes over as a noun form instead of a verb form, okay? So in this case, right, comes to baking, this will be taking the noun instead of verb form. Question 8. Having blank her mother mixed the dough, Sally switched on the oven to heat it up. Okay, having something, right? We are looking at a participle tense. Okay, question number 8. Okay, having blank her mother mixed the dough, Sally switched on. So this happens second, this happens first, right? So past perfect. Okay, and this is past tense. Okay, so what would the answer be for question number 8? Right, any idea what answer it would be? Question 8. Okay, so having something her mother, right? Okay, having blank her mother, this cannot be helping because having is already in the ing form, right? So it's definitely not option number 4. Having helps is wrong as well because this is already in past tense. Therefore, it cannot be in present tense, which leads us to option number 3 by the power of elimination. Okay, so having helped her mother mix the dough will be the correct answer. Okay, question number 9. Neither the boys nor their mother blank keen to go to the theme park during the upcoming holidays. Okay, their mother, right? This is singular. Okay, the mother, this is singular. Okay, we ignore the boys because we only look at the second subject, which is the mother. Okay, during the upcoming holidays, this is in present tense. Okay, so present tense and singular form, what would the answer be? If it's present tense and singular form. For question number 9, present tense and singular form, what would the answer be? Okay, anyone wants to try answering question 9? Okay, so for question number 9, right, because the mother is singular and it is in present tense, therefore the answer will have to be option number 1, right? Because the mother, this is the second subject that we are looking at. Okay, second subject. Okay, so if this is the second subject that we are looking at, the answer will be option number 1. Okay, question 10. Hi, Purple Pretty Hearts. Thank you for following us. Hi, Posh Penguin. Welcome to our live session. Okay, so we are doing 50 grammar and vocabulary questions right now. So feel free to answer or drop any questions if you would like to. Okay, so question number 10. Rarely blank we find such dull-colored poisonous plants, Professor Heng declared in delight. Okay, so rarely blank we find. We find. We know these are very good clues for us to derive our answer. So finding, right, this is present tense because it's in the dialogue, right? So Ashlyn and Tashnim says that answer is 2. Rarely did. Why would your answer be number 2? Do you have any explanation or any clues? Right? Jeevan says it's 1. Okay. Right. So we. This is plural. We absolutely can confirm that we is plural form because it refers to many people. Right. Okay. Tashnim has changed the option to number 1. Okay, so is it 1 or 2 for question 10? Right? The answer is actually 1. So why is it do and why is it not did? Okay, because this is in present tense. So rarely do we find, right? Find, this is in present tense, therefore it's a very big hint for us. Okay, we ignore the part after because this is referring to what he was saying in the moment. Okay, so we only focus on the dialogue. Did usually refers to a question. Yes, Tashnim. Okay, so let's go on to grammar close right now. We are at grammar close for the paper 2 segment. Okay, this is a revision worksheet and practice for PSLE or upcoming PSLE students that are trying to find something to revise for. Okay, so yes. Okay, question 11. So, do you know that 100,000 flights operate daily, contributing to approximately 4% of greenhouse gas produced annually? There have been a year-on-year increases, and the percentage is projected to triple blank the year 2050. Okay, projected to triple blank the year 2050. Projected, this is a prediction. Okay, this is a prediction. Okay, so we are unsure whether it will actually, but we will guess, right? We give a guess that it will triple blank the year 2050. Okay, so any answers for this question over here? Are you able to see the options? Please let me know if you are able to see. Okay, do inform me if you are unable to hear or see anything on the screen as well. Okay, so what would the answer be for question 11? Right, triple blank the year 2050. This is a guess, right? So the answer will actually be tripling by the year. Okay, by the year 2050. If sustainable solutions blank not implemented, experts predict that this rise blank persists. Okay, solutions. This is a clue for us to know that it's plural form. Okay, plural form. So if sustainable solutions blank not implemented, right? If suggests that it is in present tense, right? Because it is a suggestion. Okay, so therefore, if sustainable solutions are not implemented, right? We are referring to it being present and we have to implement it by then. So experts predict that this rise blank persists. Okay, so blank persist will be a possibility that we are implying. So what would the word be for question 13? Okay, sorry, possibility. Okay, possibility. So what would the word for question 13 be? Experts predict that this rise blank persists. Okay, this rise may persist. Okay, so it's a possibility. Therefore, the answer will be J. Ines Fitzgerald, a UK runner, declined participating in an Australian race due to environmental concerns. Blank instead, she embarked on a 1,600 kilometers train journey, blank England to Italy. 2 is a hint for us, right? So for question 14, what would the answer be? Okay, question 14. And instead, right, we are just trying to find a connector. Okay, we are just trying to find a connector for question 14. And she embarked on a 1,600 kilometers train journey from England to Italy. Okay, so from one place to another. So F for from. Okay, from one place to another. Okay, you travel from Singapore to the country of your destination. Okay, so from England to Italy. Her choice to do so brings attention to the environmental impact caused by flights, despite ongoing global efforts, blank reduce emissions. Ongoing global efforts, blank reduce emissions. So for question 16, right, one possible answer that we can use will be to reduce emissions. Okay, our efforts, right, we are trying to reduce emissions. Therefore, that will be the only possible answer for this blank over here. While airlines seek eco-friendly solutions, finding blank most suitable. Okay, we are referring to only the one and only. Okay, most suitable, one and only solution remains challenging as our planet blank. Okay, so what would the answer be for question 17? Right, finding blank most suitable solution. We are referring to one specific solution only. One specific solution. Okay, so if we are only referring to one specific solution, the answer will have to be the one and only, right? We are only referring to that particular one. So, and the, right, if you are having a hard time differentiating between a most suitable solution and the most suitable solution, you can actually differentiate them by this referring to a specific one. Okay, a specific solution. Okay, this will be a specific solution. And a will be more general, any one. Any solution. Okay, so anything that is possible. Versus the most suitable one. So a suitable solution versus the most suitable one is a little bit difficult to tell the difference at first, but once you understand what is the difference between these two, it is easier for you to answer the question over here. Right, question 18. Blank limited resources. Okay, most suitable solution remains challenging as our planet blank limited resources. Okay, so our planet. This is referring to one planet only. One planet, which means that it is singular. Okay, so if it's one planet, singular, therefore it will be our planet has limited resources. Okay, has limited resources. So our planet, right, so has limited resources. Singular form, it won't be plural because we are only referring to one singular planet. When planning your next trip, blank family or friends. Okay, so this is accompaniment, right? So when planning your next trip with family or friends, experts suggest using trains, buses, or bicycles. Blank alternatives reduce the impact of air travel on the environment. Okay, we are referring to alternatives, okay, which is trains, buses, or bicycles, which means that we have to use the plural form of this, right? So it's these. We are referring to these buses, bicycles, as well as trains. Reduce the impact of air travel on the environment. Opting for eco-friendly choices helps reduce our environmental impact, supporting conservation efforts positively. Okay, so that is all for this grammar close practice. Right, feel free to let me know if you have any questions regarding any of the blanks or anything you want to clarify on versus the meanings. And for those of you who are interested in purchasing this, just feel free to head to our TikTok main page. You can click our link in bio over here and you can purchase it via our ebook store. Okay, it will direct you to our ebook store, or you can head to our shop in our link. Okay, you can also go to our shop, scroll down, and you're able to find this. Okay, you can just click and browse through our ebook store. We have a lot of products that can suit your different needs. So for now, we are doing 1,200 grammar and vocabulary questions. Right, these are the most popularly tested exam questions that can drill you to practice more. Okay, so let's go on to our vocabulary segment. Okay, vocabulary MCQ. So, the National Library has a large collection of rare books that are blank to members with paid subscription. Okay, that are blank to members with paid subscription. So, large collection of rare books, right? Only members can get it. Okay, can borrow it. Only members can borrow this. So what would the answer be? Okay, only the members can get their hands on this large collection of rare books. Right, so we are referring to it being accessible. Okay, they are accessible to members with paid subscription. Okay, accessible. It is not really saying that it's obtainable because they don't really get to keep it. They get to access and borrow the books. Okay, so therefore obtainable is not the most suitable answer for this question, right? Applicable, it means that it applies. Okay, that applies to members, which doesn't really make sense in this case as well, because we are saying that the members are able to get it. It's not they are able to apply the books, right? Reachable is too generic. It is incorrect in this context. Okay, so question 22. Lakeside Park has a or an blank environment suitable for anyone looking for a quiet spot to relax after a hard day's work. Okay, a or an blank environment, right? So they don't give you a very big clue. They give you a or an because you have several options to choose from. So what would your answer be for question 22? Right? Lakeside Park has blank environment. Okay, looking for a quiet spot to relax. This is a clue to the blank over here. Okay, a clue for the blank for question 22. Okay, so what would the answer be? Right, we are looking for any word that represents this meaning over here. Right, a quiet spot. This is the key phrase, a quiet spot. Okay, is it a gentle environment, a lenient environment, a tranquil environment, or an amiable environment? Okay, so let's look at these options carefully. Right, gentle environment. Gentle means to be very light and tender, right? Okay, so when you describe gentle, maybe the gentle wind blow through the garden that makes you feel like, oh, it's very relaxing, right? So gentle breeze. So it's not a very heavy, it's light, right? Lenient. Lenient means to be forgiving. Okay. Tranquil means to be peaceful and quiet, while amiable will mean to be very friendly. Okay, so the only possible answer for this question will be option number 3, tranquil. Okay, Moving on to question 23. Our holiday plans in Penang were blanked by the unexpected downpours and flash floods. We were at a loss on our next move. Okay, our holiday plans in Penang were blanked by the unexpected downpours. Means that they were changed, right? The plans were destroyed. Is it destroyed? No. What would the correct answer be then? Right? Holiday plans went wrong. So, was it defeated by the unexpected downpours? Was it thwarted? Was it frustrated or prevented? Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4 for question number 23. Okay, defeated usually refers to something, right? Defeating the enemy, right? Defeat usually refers to loss, right? However, the plans cannot really be defeated by these unexpected downpours, right? We can feel defeated because we were unable to accomplish something. Okay, thwarted, right? Thwarted means to change, right? So what is an example, right? Is actually to oppose something successfully, right? To prevent Okay, frustrated would be wrong as well because this means to be more annoyed. Okay, prevented means to be held back, right? Unable to do something. Okay, therefore the answer will be option number 2. Thwarted. Okay, moving on to the next question. Question 24. This packing list might not be complete. It was blank drawn up due to a lack of time. Okay, lack of time. This means that not enough time, right? Not enough. Okay, not enough time. So this packing list might not be complete. It was blank drawn up, right? We have to say a word that is similar to quickly. Okay, so any possible answers for question 24? Okay, so the correct answer for this case will be hastily. Okay, hastily drawn up, right? Quickly and hurriedly. Because there was a lack of time, not enough time, so you have to hurry up and draw up the plan. Okay, so the correct answer will be option number 1. Okay, moving on to question 25. We may have lost to the other school in the first round, but there's a chance we might still make it through the finals. Let's blank and stay in the game, Bob exclaimed. right? So for this question, a lot of us have encountered the same question in our previous live sessions before, right? So I'm pretty sure you can get this correct. So let's blank and stay in the game. So let's recap all the meanings of these idioms, right? Pavlov says that it is pull up our socks. Yes. Okay, so pull up our socks is correct, right? Is to try to do better. Okay, try to improve. So what does tighten our belts mean in this case? Right, what does tighten our belts mean? Okay, tightening your belts. Right, this actually means to cut your expenses, right? To spend lesser, right? So that you can save more money, living more frugally, right? Throwing in the towel would mean to give in, okay, or maybe give up or surrender. Okay, burning a hole in our pockets, right? This means to spend too much. Okay, this means to spend too much. So the correct answer will be option number 2, right? Let's pull up our socks to stay in the game. Moving on to the next part over here at our vocabulary close. Right, let's read this together and we have to identify the synonyms of the words that is bolded and underlined over here. So I'll circle them first, right? So let's start with the Everyday Museum is a public art initiative in which artists get to bring art to the community by producing artworks that are displayed in public. There is one such project at Tanjong Pagar. By situating the artworks in this housing estate, art is brought to the everyday lives of residents and visitors. One such artwork, Little Islands, spans 2 HDB blocks. It features a landmass surrounded by water, offering a sense of spaciousness to the viewers. Amid the hustle and bustle of city life, Little Islands beckons its viewers to stay a little while longer. Other visual representations of art forms include anime murals painted on a few shophouses that provide viewers a whimsical take on this old public housing estate. This infusion of art into the community is indeed seamlessly done. Viewers can spend an entire day exploring and admiring the artworks around the estate in familiar comfort, an experience very much different from the standard museum visits. Okay, question 26. Situating. Okay, situating. What would the answer be for question 26? Okay, we are looking at a word that is similar to situating the artworks, right? Situating the artworks. So Pavlovs, do you have any clue what the answer will be? Okay, situating. Situating the artworks in this housing estate. Okay, situating the artworks. Okay, so situating actually would represent, right, when you put something at that place specifically. So for question 26, the correct answer will be by placing the artworks. Okay, so purposefully placing the artworks at that area. One such artwork, Little Islands, spans 2 HDB blocks. Okay, so we are looking at the word spans and which of these words represent spans the best. Okay, which of these words represents spans the best? Okay, hangs from 2 HDB blocks. Okay, merges from 2 HDB blocks, puts together or extends across. Right, so it's quite straightforward, right? Because the artworks will only extend across the HDB blocks right, from this to there. Okay, extending. Okay, next question. Oops. This. Okay, next question we have is offering a sense of spaciousness to the viewers. Amid the hustle and bustle of city life, Little Islands beckons its viewers to stay a little while longer. Beckons. Okay, which of the words over here can represent the word beckons? Question 28. Okay, question 28. Which of the words over here can represent beckons? Okay, beckons. We are looking at the synonym of this word over here, beckons. Okay, beckons, right? So beckons its viewers to stay a little while longer. Okay, so because of this, right, we are sure that it is something that entices the viewers and attracts them. So the answer will be option number 3, right? Attracting the viewers to stay a little while longer. Question 29. Right, let's go to question 29. Other visual representations of art forms include anime murals painted on a few shop houses that provide viewers a whimsical take on this old public housing estate. Representations, right, we're looking at representations. Okay, representations. So question 29, what would the answer be? Okay, representations, parades, displays, symptoms, hallucinations, right? Representations. Okay, so these things display, right, the artwork. So they are actually displays instead of being parades, symptoms, or hallucination. All the rest of the options do not really fit into the context over here. Okay, so moving on to question 30, the last question for our vocabulary close. So this infusion of art into the community. Okay, infusion of art into the community. Okay, we infuse this into the community, so we add it to the community. So it will be option number 1, addition of art into the community. Okay, so the correct answer will be option number 1, this addition. Okay, and that is all for this vocabulary close practice. Right, feel free to let me know if you would like to clarify on any of the words or the vocabulary phrases over here. Right, I'll leave this here for a short while. Okay, and for those of you who are interested, you can head to our TikTok. Right, you can go to the link in bio. Just click on the link in bio and head to the shop to browse through our ebooks collection. Okay, so we have many targeted practice for primary and secondary students as well. So just feel free to check it out when you are free or if you are interested. Okay, and if you have any questions, you can feel free to let me know in the comments. Right, before we move on to grammar MCQ. So question number 1. Brian, together with his classmates, blank prepared for Mr. Goh's pop quiz yesterday. Okay, Brian, together with his classmates, is additional information. So this is a distractor. Okay, this is a distractor. Blank prepared for Mr. Goh's pop quiz yesterday. This is past tense. Right, yesterday it already happened. Right, Brian, this is singular. Okay, so we can cancel the plural form already because we know that it was yesterday and singular. So the correct answer can only be option number 3, right? Was prepared, because it is past tense and singular. So we can easily derive our answer as option number 3. Question 2. All the students felt discouraged blank their school badminton teams lost to their rivals. Okay, discouraged blank their school badminton teams lost. So it cannot be discouraged in, right? For question number 2. It is not discouraged in, not discouraged of. So is it discouraged by or discouraged from, right? So this is the cause, right? This is the cause. Therefore, the option will be only suitable to put by the team's loss to their rivals. Okay, this is the cause of the discouragement. Okay, and it's the effect. Okay, let's go on to question 3. Wen Ling blank her grandmother fortnightly as she wants to spend time with her. Okay, her grandmother fortnightly. Fortnightly means what? Okay, does anyone know the meaning of fortnightly? Right, fortnightly means every 2 weeks. Right, so in schools they have mother tongue fortnight activities. Right, so what does fortnight mean? Okay, fortnight means to visit every 2 weeks. Okay, so fortnightly means every 14 days. So over here, she, right, Wen Ling, one person, singular. Okay, every 2 weeks means it is present tense. It's still ongoing, right? Okay, let's write it down, ongoing. So if it's present tense and ongoing, what would the answer be? Right, it's definitely not was visiting because this is the past tense. Visit would refer to plural form. This is the plural form, right? So if it's Wen Ling and her friends, that will be plural. Okay, so visited is also wrong because we are referring to present tense. Therefore, we only have one option left for us to choose, which is option number 2. Visits her grandmother. Visits her grandmother. They went to the park earlier today. Blank they. Okay. Positive, negative. We immediately know that this is a question tag. Right? Question tag. So they went to the park. When is the past tense of go? Right? So they did go to the park earlier today. Blank they. So we know since it's positive, we can cancel out 1 and 2 because they are positive form and we are looking at negative form for the other blank. So the answer will only be option number 3. They didn't they. Okay, they went to the park earlier today. Didn't they? Question 5. You blank have completed the assignment by now. It was due yesterday. Madam Go cheated Jack. Okay, so you blank have completed the assignment by now. It was due yesterday. Okay, it was due yesterday, so this is an expectation, right, of completing the assignment. Okay, she expected him to complete the assignment already. Okay, it was expected for him. So the answer for question number 5 will be, okay, you should have completed, right? It should be done by now. Okay, it should be. Moving on to question number 6. We don't have blank time to pack for the road trip. Okay, time. Time is uncountable. Okay, what is countable for time will be the hours and minutes. Okay, so we don't have blank time to pack for the road trip. We better get started on it. Okay, so we don't have okay, we don't have much time to pack for the road trip. right? Because time is uncountable. Therefore, we are unable to say that it's many time or it's some time. Okay, moving on to question number 7. Please pick up after blank, Mrs. Raju reminded her class. Okay, so she's speaking to her class, right? So she's speaking to her class. So please pick up after blank, right? So yourselves, right? She's telling the students. So please pick up after yourselves. Please clean up after yourselves. So therefore the answer will be option number 3. Question 8. Blank, she spent hours. She spent countless hours. You are using iPad or laptop. Oh, Lo-Fi Soul. Hello, Lo-Fi Soul and Red Panda. Right, this is a tablet. Okay, this is a tablet. So I'm using a tablet and a stylus to do this. Okay, so if you purchase the copy of the ebook, you can actually access it via PDF form and we can do it on the tablet. Hi, Red Panda's answer is option number 3. Yes, for question 7, that is the correct answer. Right, question number 8. Blank, she spent countless hours preparing for her presentation. She still felt nervous. Oh, Red Panda, are you referring to this question? Yes, Lo-Fi, so feel free to let me know if you have any questions as well. Oh, Red Panda, yes. Okay, very good. Question 8 is option number 3. Though she spent countless hours. Right, we are referring to even though she had done this, she still felt nervous. Okay, she was unable to alleviate her anxiety. Okay, question number 9. The committee blank, the members are all students. Organize the charity event. Okay, committee. We are referring to the committee. So the committee is actually a group of people, an organization, right? So for question number 9, we have to take note that it is not a person. Okay, this is not a person. Yes, they do have people in the committee. However, we have to use which to represent the committee. So the committee, which members? Okay, which members are all students, organize the charity event. Okay, so take note of this. Yes, Red Panda. So the subject, this is the subject that we are looking at. So unless this is the teacher, right? The teacher, blank members, maybe students. Therefore, the teacher whose students are all students, okay? It doesn't really make sense for this example, but unless it is a person over here, that is when we use option number 4. Okay, so the twins blank to represent the nation in football since primary 5, announced the commentator. Okay, so since primary 5, right, to represent the nation. So this means that it is still ongoing, right? So it has to be in present perfect continuous. Okay, present perfect continuous. So if it's present perfect continuous form, what would the answer be for this question over here? Okay, Red Panda, want to give it a shot? Okay, the twins blank to represent the nation in football. Okay, take note that twins is 2 people. Okay, 2 people means that it is plural. Okay, Jeevan is back. Okay, Jeevan says that it is option number 4. Have been training. Very good. Okay, plural form and present perfect continuous. Okay, so for this will be past perfect continuous, which is wrong. Will be training will be wrong as well because this is implying that it happens in the future. Okay, this implies that it's happening in the future. Therefore, the answer is number 4 because we have this very important phrase, since primary 5. Okay, so let's go on to our grammar close. Or if you would like to go to vocabulary first, feel free to let me know. We can make a choice. Okay, so this passage is about football. Okay, let's start with question 11. So, football, sometimes called soccer, is the world's most popular sport. Played by millions around the world, it is a blank game that requires skill and teamwork. Okay, we are referring to games, so any game under a roof, right? So we are just saying that it is that one game. For question 11, the answer will be very straightforward. Okay, it is blank game. Okay, so it is a game, right? Football is a game that requires skill and teamwork. Okay, so for football, it is usually a lot of players in a group versus another team of players, right? So that requires skill as well as teamwork. Blank the start of a match. Okay, blank the start of a match, right? We are referring to just at the start of a match. Okay, at the start of a match, teams line up and the referee blows a whistle to signal the kick-off. The aim is to score goals, blank getting the ball into the opposing team's net. Okay, so what we have to do, right? Okay, so this is the effect. We have the cause and the effect, right? So this is the effect, right? Scoring goals. And this is the cause, right? What happens, right? So this is caused by this thing, okay? By getting the ball into the opposing team's net. However, there are players' blank role is to defend their goal to prevent opponents from scoring. Yes, that is the defending role, right? In sports, there are defenders and there are attackers. In different types of sports, there are always several roles to it, right? Especially for team sports. So there are players. We are referring to the players. So question 14, what would the answer be? Okay, referring to the players, their role, right? Whose role is to defend? Okay, so the role belongs to the players over here. Okay, the role belongs to the players. Players primarily use their feet to move the ball. Blank, they can also use their heads or torsos. Okay, torsos refers to the chest area. Okay, so use their feet to move the ball. Blank, they can also. He also. Right, so what would the answer be for question 15? Okay, question 15. So, but also, right? Not only can they use their feet, but they can also use their heads or torsos. Coaches strategize and focus on blank players' strengths. Okay, so it's players, individual. This apostrophe S tells us that it is every individual player. Okay, therefore it will be each player's strengths. They often make player substitutions during the game to bring fresh energy, tactics, blank the field. Okay, bring something, blank the field. Okay, so it is onto the field. Okay, onto the field. So the sport is governed by International Football Association Board. Blank made a set of rules known as the laws of the game. Right? So what would the answer be for question 18? Okay, question 18. Blank made a set of rules. So this board, right? So we are referring to this is not a person, this is the group. So the board which made a set of rules. Okay, which made a set of rules known as the laws of the game. Blank rules ensure fair play and safety for all players. Okay, so we are referring to those rules that they set. Okay, because we have already used these. Oh, sorry, we have already used each. And this doesn't make sense because rules are plural form. and we are referring to the rules that the board has set, right? So the only possible answer for this question will be N. Okay, football is not blank a sport, but also. Okay, these are correlative conjunctions that always come together. So for question 20, not only a sport, right? Not only a sport. Okay, but also a global event that brings people together, fosters community spirit, and inspires millions. Whether played in a local park or on the grand stage of World Cup, football has a special place in the hearts of fans all around the world. Okay, so this is how this is the grammar clues that we should all be practicing on and drilling on to improve our fundamentals of grammar, right? There are a lot of hints along the way in the passage that if you are stuck somehow, maybe you can skip the question first and move on to the next question. And after you have finished all those, right, with the remaining options that you have, it's easier to find your answer from the leftover options so that it is, scoped down to that few options, right? So that is all for our live sessions today. Hi, Eden boy. Hello. Yes. And that is all for today, right? Thank you all for joining our live sessions, and I'll see you all very soon. Okay, bye bye. Bye bye.